This is business. When we get out here and get to meetings, they shift their mind into what they need to do, and that is prepare themselves. It was 1 o'clock when we got onto the field. The same time the game will be played at. It was hot out here today. We've got to acclimatize to it, and I thought our kids did a very good job. So that shifting of that mindset. Now go enjoy yourself for a couple hours and get a nap, relax, have a good time today, and then shift back into preparation tomorrow. I think our guys have done a nice job with that.
How important is that to play in this weather and get used to it? Because obviously you guys haven't had this for a while.
It's very important. Being here 6 days will help us, obviously. We'll be outside every day to acclimatize to it. Our guys are in pretty good shape. We finished with some conditioning here, so we'll continue to push that during practice, and we'll be ready from a preparation standpoint and from a conditioning standpoint to play next, in the next 6 days.
Just saw that Stefferson officially got charged by St. Joe County for the shoplifting, along with Holmes. Any change in his status, being that now it's been 2 different incidents, 2 misdemeanors?
No, I mean he's indefinitely suspended. I think, like I said, I'll once the game's over, I'll make a decision on his permanent status. That's not something that I need to do right now. I'll make that decision once I'm finished with guys that are on our roster. And my focus right now, the most important thing, is to win this football game. So that's my focus. Once this game is complete, I'll make a decision on Kevin Stefferson in terms of what his status is with the football team.
What do you like from your group as you get ready for this game?
Well, I think it's probably what I just said, is that last night they went out, they enjoyed themselves. There was a welcoming party, obviously being here at the Citrus Bowl. It's one of those New Year's Day games, but it's been around for such a long time. There's great activities here in Orlando. But they come back and they have a great meeting, great practice today. I just like the way that they have shifted their mindset back to preparation, preparing, knowing that they've got to sacrifice some things in terms of their preparation if they want to win a football game.
Coach, how often do players or coaches talk about the tough outings you guys have had in the past here in the state of Florida? Is that a topic?
No. I've had a lot of really good outings in the state of Florida. I think at Notre Dame, I really can't remember them. I only remember the really good times in Florida. Days on the beach, golf. I've had really good rounds. I think I had my lowest round. I think I was in the 70s one time here in Florida. So we try not to remember those. Obviously our guys remember, the last game they played and the preparation, and that's really it. It's a short memory in college football. You go and you get ready for the next one, and they're going to prepare hard to play against LSU. It's not where we're playing, it's how we play.
Coach, after the Stanford game, do you think it's better to have a lot of time in between, like you've had like a month plus, to kind of, I guess, recover or not recover, but kind of come back from that? Or would you rather the team kind of get right back out there like usual during the regular season where you have just a week?
No, I think like anything else, we needed some time. Our football team needed to get their step back and some energy back to them. Obviously this is a long break, but I thought we prepared well. We had a 70-play scrimmage to get them back into hitting and back into that football. We're moving around with a pace that was similar to what we had earlier in the season. Again, I think that this football team is poised to play well. They're excited about playing LSU. It's going to be a great challenge. We know that. It's a very good football team, but I think the timing is good for us.
Matchup question, defensively going against LSU's defense. How do they change with the injuries at the second level? What are the things you really need to get done most for your offense against them?
Well, they've lost some experienced players, obviously, inside and on the edge, but, I don't think that changes who they are in terms of their scheme. It's still going to be about defeating one-on-one coverage on the outside. It's still going to be about our ability to control, 3-down, 4-down hybrid defense. And quite frankly, we're going to have to throw the football at times, against some man-to-man coverage. So, let's go back to where we were earlier in the season. Let's talk about controlling the line of scrimmage, which is going to be key for us. If we can obviously block man on man, we're going to have to make a couple of guys miss. We're going to have to complete a couple of balls here, in particular on the perimeter. If we do that, we'll have a chance to put some points on the board.
Is it reasonable for a guy like Michael Young, who hasn't played a whole lot, showed maybe some interesting stuff in August, to kind of reemerge in a situation like this?
Yeah, I think he's had his best practices. I think he's shown a confidence level, consistency level that maybe escaped him at times during the year, which is pretty typical of some of the younger players. But you can kind of see him settling into, a more comfortable position right now too, as well. So I think we're going to have to count on him to make some plays for us.
Similar question about your defense from a matchup perspective.
Yeah.
Three things that you guys need to get done to be effective against their offense.
Well, first of all, it starts with, their ability to run the football, and they've got a very good offensive line. So, it's the front seven. Obviously, we've seen all year, anytime that we've been able to, be effective against the run, and force teams into predictable third down situations, we've been really good. That's where the game will effectively be won for us. If we give them great opportunities to throw the ball down the field to some lengthy wide receivers, we put ourselves in some difficult situations. So controlling the line of scrimmage, in particular first down, is going to be really important for us.
Coach, you said you might have to throw the ball more in this game to be successful. Where do you feel Brandon's at in these practices so far?
Yeah, he's played with a lot more carryover in terms of his practice. Drill work is starting to really show itself in the way he's throwing the ball in 7-on-7 and his teamwork. A lot more consistency in what he's doing. Look, they're going to play man-to-man coverage, and we know that we're going to have to win some matchups on the outside. You're not going to be able to go down the field with chunk plays. You're going to have to get some chunk plays on the outside. So my point in terms of throwing the football is we're going to have to win a couple of those matchups on the outside. We've got some length as well with EQ and Miles Boykin. They're going to have to win some of those matchups on the outside, and Brandon's going to have to be effective in putting the ball there.
And how about with the run game? Obviously, it was so dominant throughout the year.
Yeah.
Maybe slowed down a little at the end.
Yeah.
Do you feel Josh can get back to that level?
Yeah, he looks really good. I mean, he's got his speed back. He looks healthy. He's running very effectively. I expect him to play really well in this game. And, again, I think the time off for him really helped him.
You with a few guys out in the past, as far as passing options, who else are you expecting that could step up? I know you mentioned Michael Young, but anyone else has kind of caught your eye in the last couple of practices?
Well, I think, the tight ends are going to be important to us. Durham Smythe, Cole Clement, Nick Wisher, all three tight ends will be involved. I think for us, more than anything else, it's going to be keeping the ball, out on the perimeter, winning some of those matchups. And then when we get a chance, we'll move some of those guys around. EQ is going to move all over the place. So he's going to be a guy that we're going to have to lean on heavily.